r/AskReddit, nsfw, what are some really dangerous things most people don't realize are dangerous? A few inches of moving water over a roadway. Driving while tired. It can be just as dangerous as driving while drunk, but many people do it without thinking twice. For context, 20 hours awake impairs you as much as 0.8% BAC, which counts as DUI in many states. A lot of people end up with liver failure from overusing Tylenol. It's not harmless, don't treat it like Skittles. Not having enough sodium. There's always warnings about too much salt, but apparently if you don't have enough it can throw your body totally out of whack. Learn this after passing out and ending up in the ER. Tailgating at 70 miles per hour. Edit. Thank you Redditors for the overwhelming response and for the anonymous gold. To be honest, this thread moved to the left lane for passing discussion. It wasn't the goal of my response. My response is more about how a tailgater will dramatically increase the risk of an accident versus being patient and sharing the road with others. 100% of accidents are when two objects want to occupy the same space. And the logic of getting closer to the object in front of you at relatively high speed seems illogical to me. Garage door springs. A full force punch to the face. People have died from a single punch. Eating grapefruit while on medication. Grapefruit has so many bad interactions with medication, ranging from rendering the medication ineffective, to toxicity. Walking up or down the stairs. The most common accident at home is falling down the stairs. Putting your feet on the dashboard. It is extremely dangerous. Sitting all day. Pregnancy. If you need someone's attention while they're using heavy equipment, in a non-emergency situation, let them finish before getting their attention. I work as a meat cutter. When I'm cutting something on the bandsaw, I have my back turned to the counter. Lot of customer expect to get service immediately as soon as they walk up to the counter. So I'm cutting something and they immediately make a loud noise to get my attention. Like picking up a metal signpost and banging it in the floor or slamming the counter. It surprises me, making me flinch depending on how loud it is. With my fingers inches from a saw that easily passes through the thickest of cow bones. I don't care how important your dinner date steak is. If I lose my hand, I will do my damnedest to punch you in the face with my bloody stump. Additional info: since I received a lot of comments about it, I am not alone. I have at least one other co-worker working the counter. No, the bandsaw is not next to the service counter. That would be a very bad idea. The amount of bone dust, yes, just like sawdust, produced would make it very difficult to keep the front area clean. I work in a back area, that is separated by a low wall and large open bay window. That's where we do all the meat production. That's where we can contain all the bone dust, blood, rendered fat, and other things that come with meat cutting. Also, that area is refrigerated. We have 2 massive cooling units on the ceiling with a total of 8 fans. It doesn't keep the production or refrigerator cold, but it does keep it around 50 F on average. Because of these loud fans, I can't hear my co-workers when they're talking at normal levels to someone in the front. I can hear voices but cannot distinguish what is being said. And that should give everyone an idea of how loud these assholes are. I can hear it extremely loud over the fans, loud bandsaw and bones being sawed. Brazilian butt lifts. One of the most dangerous cosmetic surgeries. I think people frequently drive way too close to the car in front of them. Growing up, I was always taught a car length's distance for every 10 miles per hour. And while it seems crazy, that simple rule of driving has saved my ass more times than I can count. Electricity. You can't see it until it's too late. Harmless wires dangling around will put you into the ground. Even if it looks good, it can be done wrong and start a fire. Source: am an electrician. This is super vague, but I think a lot of people often underestimate the dangers of water. Like the power of a river or sea current, water on the road, slipping in the shower, etc. Bleach. Mix with ammonia? Basically mustard gas, you died. Mix with alcohol? Chloroform, you can pass out and have organ failure. Mix with vinegar? Chlorine gas, you died. Bonus, mix hydrogen peroxide and vinegar? Peracetic acid, your lungs bleed. To clarify, do not clean pee with bleach. Pee has ammonia. Edit, I'm so glad to read this has helped some people not gas themselves, hooray. Have fun and stay safe out there. Edit 2, not technically mustard gas, but chloramine. Still just as nasty. Falling down. I know there are jokes about the whole I've fallen and I can't get up. But it's a real danger. As we get older, our bones lose density and strength, so falling can actually cause legitimate injuries. And even if you're not old, unprotected falls are still dangerous. Street fights where people get knocked out and fall onto concrete is super dangerous. It doesn't take a lot of height to cause serious damage when falling and hitting your head. Driving. Gasoline. People put it in their cars every day, so they don't realize how volatile it is. YouTube is full of videos of people pouring gasoline on a campfire, or pouring it in a garbage can and sticking a match to it, only to find themselves sitting on their asses a half second later, eyebrows singed off and flash burns on their faces and hands, if they're lucky. It's explosive. It's not like lighter fluid for your barbecue grill. Unloaded gun. Chiropractors. I was born with quite severe scoliosis. It was cheaper to go to a chiropractor than an actual doctor growing up. This has resulted in significant damage to my back. When I finally got in to see a spinal specialist, he mentioned that upwards of 45% of his long-term patients were there because of chiropractors. He told me after reviewing years of my x-rays that the adjustments I was receiving actually made my spine worse than if I were to have not done anything. It is also pretty common for chiropractors to break bones. There were a few people that went to my doctor that were paralyzed by a chiropractor. When I was 16, a chiropractor did an adjustment that caused one of the discs in my spine to rupture. I also had my hip dislocated at one point. So yeah, chiropractors are not real doctors, and can cause a lot of harm. As a chef, it's food. I've seen people who cook at home with some very dangerous cooking habits. Everything from not washing hands after handling raw meat, it's all raw proteins, people, not just chicken, to not cooling leftovers properly and even proper storing procedures. Spoiler alert, don't store raw chicken above the salad you plan to serve with it. Those juices can drip down and contaminate everything. Personally, I think everyone needs to take a class on proper food handling for their safety and everyone's safety for whom they plan on cooking. Noise-canceling headphones while walking in cities. You need to be able to hear your surroundings to react properly, can easily walk into traffic or get swiped by a bike if you're tuning out the world. The newest AirPod commercial shows a woman walking through an empty city intersection with her headphones in, then shows all the chaos return when she takes one out. Not safe. It's important to be aware of your surroundings in dense areas. Edit, lots of people saying I missed the point of the ad, or reminding me that these headphones have a mode where outside noise can filter in. Awesome. But noise cancelling should never be on in busy situations. Trust yourself all day long, but don't ever trust chaos. It can happen in the blink of an eye. Overworking yourself. Not getting enough sleep. Stairs. Especially random stairs leading nowhere found in the wilderness. Metal folding chairs. I knew someone who lost some fingers when one slammed shut on their hand. For new parents, sleeping with your newborn in the bed. A lot of SIDS cases are actually accidentally smothering from one of the parents rolling on the baby and not finding out until it's too late. Sadly, I've seen this happen more than a few times. Edit. Since many have asked, I work in a children's hospital and am often present when such patients come in by ambulance. Sadly, it's almost always too late to save them. I'm an avid skier. I was just skiing in Colorado at Loveland, and it's absolutely insane to me how people will click into their skis with little idea how to actually ski and very little idea where any given run will go and just go. If you point your skis downhill and let them go on a moderate pitch, you can get up over 30 miles per hour without trying to. There are so few things that people will do at that speed without knowing exactly what they're doing. And to be clear, the people who are put in danger are not just the Jerrys who don't ski within their ability level, it's also everyone else around them. I watched a fully grown man absolutely destroy a woman this past weekend because he was out of control through a trail merge. The woman never even saw him coming and had no way to protect herself. Based on my experience lately on the road, merging without looking or using your blinkers, I was literally almost pushed off the road recently. Some asshat decided to merge onto my lane without even a glance. Would have rammed right into the side of my car if I hadn't honked a fuck ton. Seriously people. Don't just look at the mirror. See if there's a car right next to you before merging. Christ. Recreational drug use. With all the fentanyl going around now, the amount of inherent danger that comes with doing certain drugs has gone through the roof, and many people are not aware of this yet. Unfortunately, there have been many unintended overdoses because of this. Ever since I did white mist training, I've gotten extremely paranoid around reading chemical safety labels. The training showed a foreign worker essentially making chlorine gas by accident in a dry cleaners and almost killing everyone in the building, and actually killing herself. Everyone who was exposed had permanent damage. There was a welder who didn't realize the chemical his work gave him had fumes that would burn off his eyes and face after just one use without face and eye protection. It costed him his marriage and his entire future. In the video he said he didn't even blame her as there was no hope for him and he didn't want to burden his then young wife with having to look after someone completely broken. And I think there was a driveway sealant part-timer who was a high schooler or something. They didn't give him any safety gear and he got cancer applying the sealant like how they told him to do it. I don't think I ever watched such horrific true events presented in such a dry and boring manner. And they kept interviewing the people about how their life was after the fact and what could have been done differently, and it was just scarring. It's such a simple thing to just trust your job to check chemical safety for you, but goddamn, if they didn't you can be royally fucked. I can't imagine just opening a barrel of something my boss told me to open and literally having my corneas burned out of my face. I also switched out many of my cleaners and detergents in my home to safer options wherever I could. Even something like ice melt I checked to see for warning and safety labels. Running water in a river or steam. Doesn't take much to swipe you off your feet. Driving distracted. Pushing and using force to push out a turd. Eating too many Brazil nuts. As they are very high in selenium, eating more than 5 Brazil nuts every day could lead to selenium toxicity, which can cause hair loss, vomiting and fatigue, to name a few symptoms. I don't think it can be fatal, but still something most people probably don't realize as it is never mentioned on the packaging. Shame, as they taste so damn good. Cutting food with dull knives. A lot of people are scared of cutting themselves with knives, which is valid, however they don't realize that you're more likely with a dull knife. A sharp knife will slice right through a tomato, but with a dull knife you have to really push. If you push too hard, it can slip and then you're gonna have a bad time. Driving in general. The disregard weaving in between traffic in a ton vehicle is baffling. Being alive. 100% of the time it ends with death. Lack of exercise. I'm all for being comfortable in your own skin, but obesity is a huge killer. The spring on your garage door. Bathtub/shower combos. There are around 80,000 injuries annually in the US from bathtub/shower accidents. Driving fast in the snow/ice when you have a vehicle with AWD/4WD. It won't help much when you try to stop suddenly. Texting while walking. The ocean. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.